Okay, we are a part of the biggest change in human history with the direction that AI is going in. There's several questions that I have. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section because I'm going to say the thing that I feel like nobody's asking. So when AI comes and they're taking all our jobs, how are we going to function as a society? Okay. I that's the part I'm not understanding. I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section. What is the plan with AI? So, number one, if we have AI and AI is taking all our jobs, how do we then earn money or deal with money? Are we going to go to universal basic income? Is everyone going to get a set salary? And then that's how we support ourselves? If that's the case, does everyone get the same? What is the criteria for who gets paid what if that is the plan? Because I've never seen a society, particularly in America, where everyone is treated as equal. There's always been some type of two-tiered system or something like that. So I'm very curious to know what is the plan, okay? Because you can take the majority of jobs straight away from people. Straight away, you can take it. But then what do we do for money? How do we survive? That's a question I don't really see enough people talking about. I feel like there's probably rumblings, like the type of rumblings that are going on is probably the same type of rumblings probably with things like Bitcoin. Some people knew about this stuff, that cryptocurrency was coming, they knew the plan, and they kind of had an insight on it. Almost the same with like YouTube, okay? I remember when YouTube first came out, and I remember when they sold YouTube. And what I used to hear people say is, that's so stupid. To who would pay all that money for YouTube? How are you going to make money off of it? Like the average person had no idea what was coming with social media. But some people saw, and there's a small group that jumped on that because they understood the plan. I feel like that's what's going on right now with AI. I feel like there's a small group of people that understand where society is going with this and they're positioning themselves for that. I want to know in the comment section, what have you been hearing? I know some people out there know something, um, but I'm curious because if you take away all these different jobs, what do people do? What do people do? You're going to be at home, no job to go to. So, how would people occupy their time? This is going to be like a rewiring of society. Um, so, how would people live? And I'll tell you this from being a teacher, okay? The average person, let's say that you work a 9 to 5, you get 2 weeks off a year. Well, as a teacher, we get a summer break. And what I noticed consistently having summer breaks is that after about the third week, you start to get a little bit antsy. And if you're here and you're a teacher, let me know in the comment section. Um, can you identify with this? Or if you're someone that gets long breaks in whatever job you do, but about the third week, I start getting a little bit itchy. You know, it seems exciting when it's coming. Summer break's coming, all the countdown. But after about that third week, I start looking like, dang, like I feel like I need something constructive to do. So just the thought of like having no job for a lot of people, it's going to sound cool. It's almost like retirement. Now let me know if you're in the comment section, if you're retired, do you feel like you go through like bouts of just being bored? As I noticed, I've met a lot of people that's retired and they end up like just picking up a part-time job. They might do a little security, or they're like a greeter at Walmart or something like that. And they do it just to kind of get out of the house and have something to do. So, yeah, if we all had our job taken away, how would we live our life? You know, if robots are doing all these jobs, what do you need us to do? So, next, if we all didn't have jobs, what would be our goal? You know, like what will we be waking up striving to do? Because after a while, let's say a couple of weeks go by, are we all gonna just go after interests like sports and music and art and stuff like that? Is that gonna be? It's funny as a teacher, right? What makes me laugh is, you know, I teach PE, right? That's one of the subjects that I teach. And I remember initially I didn't do that. I used to teach literacy, um, English. I've done different things. And I remember I was transitioning to doing PE, and all they told me for years, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, your job's going to get taken, specialist jobs, art, music, PE. Those are the first ones to go. I would do something more stable, da 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 da. And that's the very thing that I feel like that will be the last thing AI would touch, would be your arts and your musics and your PE. That's something that you need kind of a human touch on, which is kind of ironic that the things that we felt that were so stable, like your math and your science and things like that, those are probably the first things that are going to be automated, believe it or not. Here's my other question. What do you think about school? So I'll say this from two different perspectives. Number one, when it comes to school, will kids go to school? Now, remember, back before the Industrial Revolution, kids like stayed at home with their family. They stayed home, they helped on the farm and or whatever like families did. Kids worked those jobs. Then they started having factories, and the family went out and worked the factory, and the kids went off to school. That's why they left the house. So now it's almost embedded into society that when parents go off to work, kids go off to school, because there's going to be nobody home if both parents are working. So now, if AI is taking jobs, are kids going to go off to school? Why? What would be the point? If there's no job to prepare for, what would you be learning in school? Like, what would be the goal of getting a college degree if robots are doing most of the job? What are we going to study? Let me know in the comments section what you think, because this is something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. It really doesn't make that much sense. Is this something that, are we looking like society? Is this a system that they're looking for full control? And what I mean by this is, okay, robots are taking all the jobs. And let's say currency switches to digital. Therefore, that means as a society, I can totally cut you off and control you. So what I mean by that is, let's say right now you got money. It could be dollars or whatever your currency is. You have that in cash. So as long as you have physical cash, you have access to money. Now, if it's all digital, the moment there is, I don't know, a power outage or electronic error, or somebody hacks in electronically, now you don't have any access to money. Therefore, you are totally dependent on me if I am somebody that controls access to this electricity or whatever powers you to get access to this money, because there's no cash element. So basically, if I want to control you as a society, they're like, if I'm the one that you depend on your money, then I control why you get the money. So that's that. We're headed towards full control. Society fully controlling you, because I control your money. So I control if you eat, as long as eating requires paying for it. So that's what's going on. It looks like a system of full control. But let me know in the comment section. What do you think? What do you think jobs would be like? What would the society shift to if robots are taking all these jobs? How do you think we're going to live? How do you think money will work? How much will we get? Do you think the system that they're going to put in place is going to be fair? What do you think that is going to be? What do you think will be the goal at this point? How do you think school is going to work? Do you think kids are going to go off to school? Do you think they're going to stay home? Yeah, what will be the point of school? What will we be preparing kids for? Yep. Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, I'm Expat D. I am very much looking forward to what you have to say, because like I said before, this is one of the most exciting times in human history that we are encountering. There's nothing that's been like this before, as far as the type of technology, the type of society. I feel like within the next 20 to 50 years, this is going to be like a different world. I think people are totally going to be rewired in their motivation. Imagine, like right now, think about how we control kids. We tell them, don't act like this because nobody's going to hire you. Don't, be good in school because you won't get a high paying job, or da 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 da. And it's like, well, what do you say to them now when the majority of those things are operated by robots? What would you tell them? What would the motivation be? So we're really turning in just a different fabric of society, which man, I would love to see what people say in the comment section. Also, I would be very curious, like, what society would say if they looked at this video 20 years from now. That would be crazy. Anyway, I'm Expat D. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks a lot for spending time with me. I would love to hear what you have to say about all this stuff in the comment section. I'm going to end things here. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get this channel to grow. Peace and I'm out.